What the hell was that?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my stars and garters!
Hola, amigos, and welcome to the Mania. My voice is a little dead, as you can tell.
That's from trying to be a rock star last night.
Yeah, I know.
Again.
I'm Pedro Borequedro, Texas Spaniard, and we have the extreme James Sorno, aka Jim House. How are you?
I am doing good, my friend. It's been a while since we've been here, so I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do it, baby.
Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, we got a pay-per-view at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Hey, you know who else we got? We got someone so famous. Not only does he have one action figure, not only does he have 2 action figures, he's got 2 action figures. He has, I'm not making this up, he has a comic book. Look, he's here on the cover. You see Zeus here on the cover?
Look, I'm going to fire that artist.
Figures.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the God of Thunder, Zeus King Dark. How are you?
Woo.
That's it. Just woo.
Super famous. The official college graduate.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the
mayor of Amherst.
Yeah, man, the mayor of Amherst, you and Tanahashi, you and the Ace. Fucking hold the shit down over there, Buffalo.
Me and Muto. Me and Ultimo Dragon.
You and Ultimo Dragon. You and Despy.
Me and Teddy Long.
You and Teddy Long, baby. Holla, holla, holla.
He's the one. He saved me from going one-on-one with the Undertaker. So I'm always gonna have a special place in my heart for Teddy.
Yeah, because you don't want to do that, man.
Oh. Zeus, you need to have a conversation, Zeus, with Desperado. You need to tell him don't have matches with the Dark Odor guy in like front of 10 people. Don't have these death matches against John Moxley. Just steer him right.
Hey. Look. Let's just get into it, why don't we? Okay. Look, last week was Forbidden Door. Okay. Now, now we all know how we all feel about AEW, but I have to say it's good to see them, our guys from New Japan, on American television. That I'm happy to see. Okay?
So they can come in job in America.
Yeah, so they can job.
Let me tell you something. I knew going into that Bryan fucking Danielson was going to kick out at least one Rainmaker. At least. I said, calm down. Don't get too excited because you know what's going to happen. But
now wait a minute, James. Pedro, you and I, we really need to applaud James for this foresight, and because he's James is a passionate person. I think we should definitely.
Yes.
I almost gave the Rainmaker Deluxe, but yeah. I had on my New Japan shirt the day before. I had on one of my Okada Rainmaker shirts the day of. So yeah, it was fun.
But okay, so you were prepared for him to kick out of one because I mean let's be honest. it usually takes a gazillion rainmakers to put someone down any fucking ways. So you were prepared for him to kick out of one, but what happened, Jim?
Well, after he kicked out the first one, I was like, okay. Then he kicked out the second one, and I was like, okay, this is going to start to get ridiculous. Okay, I think what changed the match and what happened, because then Okada kicked out of the running knee. So I was like, okay, you're going to do tit for tat. Fine. Don't overdo it. Do it once each and fine. Of course, thought that didn't happen because Okada's kicking out of this, Danielson's kicking out of that. I think what changed the match is when Bryan Danielson broke his arm. It changed a few things, and I just have to give credit where credit is due. Okada didn't take a lot on Danielson, even with the broken arm, and he was getting a little stiff with Danielson, which I thoroughly enjoyed, by the way. Fuck that. So, but as far as Danielson going over, I was not happy. I had a feeling it was going to happen, but I was not happy. So, of course, all day I was going, they're going to fly all my New Japan boys over just so they can fucking job. Okay? And you knew the one guy that couldn't job, it was going to be Sonata. There's no way he's dropping the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship to fucking Jungle Boy Jack Perry. That wasn't happening. So, I mean, all in all, on the show overall, you can easily count a lot of the mishaps and the oopsie moments, I mean, I knew there was going to be a shitload of them going into it. I didn't want to get into I wasn't going to nitpick. I was going to enjoy the show for what it was. I was going to enjoy talking shit to Lux. And, I just took it like that. The only thing is I saw a lot of AEW. I saw Rampage. I saw Collision. I saw everything leading up to it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And I'm going to say something. For all the shit MJF gets, he took care of Tanahashi in that ring on the pay-per-view. They actually had a good match. He worked at Tanahashi's pace as it was needed. And because the day before, fucking Tanahashi was botching moves because he was trying to do that quick pace. It was not happening. It was not good. It was ugly. He slipped off the top rope. He fell trying to do a drop kick. It was ugly. I was like, Ace, what are you doing over here? I understand it was a TV match, so, it was all crunched for time. On the pay-per-view, it was a totally different Ace. I mean, was he hampered? Yes, because you know how he walks. But I gave all the credit in the world to MJF because all the shit I give him, I got to give him the props too. He would roll out the ring a lot. He would stall a lot. He would work at Tanahashi's pace. And it worked. It worked. Now, there's a flip side to that coin. Jon Moxley and fucking Tomohiro Ishii did not work. Okay? Mm-hmm. When them two got in together in that match and they were hitting each other, it didn't look good. It did not. And then they had that stupid bump in the ring where they both fell. That did not look good. It didn't work. Although I'm happy that Ishii got the pin, fine, that's nice. But that did not work. It just didn't work. It just didn't.
I thought Ishii lost.
No. She got the pin, unless I'm remembering the wrong match. She got the pin, I think. Or he got the pin the day before, something like that.
I'm thinking about Dynamite because Moxley went over on Dynamite.
Right.
Okay.
No, but they were facing each other in the pay-per-view too on teams.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Forbidden Door.
Right.
Because they were doing the exchange of the elbow smashes to the face, and it just didn't work. Because Ishii was holding back. You could tell Ishii was pulling it, and fucking Moxley was pulling it to it, and it didn't look good. So that's the flip side to that MJF fucking Tanahashi coin. They made it look good. I was impressed. Now, you want to talk about the elephant in the room? Here, Osprey Omega with the 40-minute quote unquote 8.5-star match. Okay, I mean, for the crowd, I'll say this: the crowd was into the entire pay-per-view. The crowd was rooting for New Japan the entire night, which was awesome, by the way. They were rooting for New Japan. That place was. They love Okada. I mean, they love him. Okay, they were booing Brandon Danielson until he started doing the yes shit. And you know what? The only reason why I did the yes shit is because he had a broken arm. If you wanted to see that move, super flippy kind of shit, that was your match. Did it need to be 40 minutes? Absolutely not. Did they try to recreate the match from the Tokyo Dome match? They tried it. Did they surpass it? I don't know. It's subjective. Okay, for those people who like that type of match.
I was gonna say, Zeus, do you recall when I watched that match?
Yeah, but Pedro, again, that match is not for us. Okay.
Yeah, Zeus and I were like talking when I was watching that match, and I was laughing my ass off during.
Yeah, because it's not for us. It's not for us. But there are people. It's for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool
it's what they like.
Cool story, bro.
You know,
Cool story needs more dragons.
Right, yeah. You know, I mean, did they beat the shit out of each other? Yeah, they did. But I mean, come on, 40 minutes match. If you're gonna give me a 40-minute match, I'm gonna watch Flair and Steve-O or Flair Sting. You know, but that's us.
I have a question for you,
us.
James. I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think they should have closed with Omega Osprey?
No.
Okay.
No. Because the crowd reaction was as much as the crowd was into that match, they were into the Omega match more. I mean, no, they were into Okada match more. They loved that man. I was shocked how much love they were giving him. Yeah, signs and I mean, you know, okay. I mean, you hate Danielson that much? I thought he was Mr. AEW, you know? So, yeah, because I don't watch the show on a regular, so I can't tell you, you know, like the crowds are, but on that particular show, they were all in for Okada. All in. I mean, everything he did, it was oohs and ahs. And it enhanced the match. It did. Because, you know, they knew that you know, these two would never probably meet up again. I mean, not for a while, because you know, me being with Lux, you know, I had to watch the post-show scrum. I had to watch the media scrum. Yeah.
Oh, God. How was
that? You know, yeah. The only thing I can say about there's a few things I heard interesting. One, Ryan Danielson was ready to do the G1.
Yeah, I remember we kind of heard that.
Yeah, he was all set to do the G1, and now that would have been interesting. You know, fuck Eddie Kingston in the G1, but Brian Danielson in the G1. Yeah, exactly. But you know, that'd be something else. You know. So you know, he said he wants to go to New Japan, and you know, Tony said don't let him. He said, yeah, you know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Waited for so many traumatic injuries and
exactly.
trauma to finally decide he wants to do that.
Yeah, well, that's what you know. That's what he mentioned. He said he was 42, and you know, he said he always wanted to go, but in his previous employ, he was unable to do that. Now he has an opportunity to, but now again, his age and his injuries, because he said all that, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was interesting. I was like, he said I was ready to do the G1. I was like, well, hold on. Well, then how come you didn't?
He should have been ready to do the JOB.
Yeah,
I cannot wrap my head around the logic of Okada jobbing on this show.
Not only did he job, Pedro, he tapped.
Like if
He tapped out.
If Danielson is being prepared for the world title, that's one thing. I could see it maybe, but we know he's not going to win the world title. Like he's kind of said explicitly, he's not going to.
No.
So there's just no benefit to him going over at all, and especially if he broke his arm, an audible should have been called. But there shouldn't have been a reason to be an audible because he should have never been going over in this match.
And he did something that Okada hasn't done since what, 2015? Tap out.
Yeah, that was.
So not only did you beat Okada, but you made him look bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what got me. That's what I got upset at. I was like, how are you going to make Okada tap? If you want to pin him on some bullshit or you want to do a dusty finish, fine. But you're going to make Okada tap in the middle of the ring? Nah. And you got a broken arm and you're making this man tap? No. That's what got me pissed off.
And here's another thing that's going to bug me is if in the future this was also they can have a match on in New Japan where Okada goes over. And I'm like, so in the AEW shows, the AEW people go over, and the New Japan shows, the New Japan people are going to go over. That's going to get really, well, I mean, it don't matter, but it's just going to get really,
it's going to get old fast. You know, I'm happy that I got to see Okada on here. You know, I go fidgeting around on a website. You know, it's here. It was there. I got to see Despy. I got to see Ishii. I got to see our boy Ace. So it was fun to see that and to see how the crowd reacts to them. You know, again, I know that I'm taking everything with a grain of salt, well, because I know they're AEW fans. So I take that into consideration. But I have to say this. I was speaking to Lux, and Lux himself was like, yo, I watched hours of New Japan just to watch this shit. I wanted to get into everybody.
Well, that's
so
cool.
I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know? So it was, you know, we got to see Gumby. So it was good.
You know, that's another thing that bothered me too, is that, see, I thought that they should have done Danielson versus Gumby.
they were supposed to last year.
It was supposed to. It was supposed to.
Right.
So, yeah.
And here's the thing is, like, if Danielson goes over on Gumby, it doesn't really hurt Gumby's stock all that much.
Right.
Right. And you still get that great matchup that people are anticipating. And then you have a build toward, you know, then Danielson can call out Okada after beating Gumby.
Right. But see, Zeus, every time we book, it makes sense. Every time they book, it doesn't. Because they had Gumby fighting Shibata and Orange Cassidy in the 3-way. Or the 4-way with some other idiot. So I was like, nah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So on a different note, more things that make that this has made nobody happy, and coming from New Japan, and they've crowned Yota Tsuji, Ren Narita, and Umino as the new Three Musketeers, which has gone over like a lead fart with everybody there. Like, nobody likes it. Like, Tsuji said, no. He's like, no, I'm not part of this.
Who's booking this shit over there? Who's booking this?
It's I mean, apparently from what little we know, it seems like it's still Gato, and then that
I can't
ring announcer guy. That's, you know.
Well, what the fuck is Gato smoking, man? Is he turning into Vince McMahon?
Well, you know, they tried to redo they tried to do the new Musketeers in the mid 2000s, and that didn't work out either. You know,
that was zero. That was another fuck up.
So it's just you know, we have to, you know, in pro wrestling, things are overdone and redone to death, and this is just one of those things that'll hopefully go away really quickly because, I mean, literally nobody wants this. I mean, it's just people in the back trying to come up with ideas for, I don't even, with these guys, they're all in 3 different factions too.
Yeah.
So what sense does this make to having them as some kind of 3 musketeers? I mean, Chono, part of the thing about the actual 3 musketeers is they were all great friends.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, and that was the thing about, Muto and Chono and Hashimoto is like, they would come to odds, at the end of a tournament or a G1 or something, but it's just because they were the best, and they gave it their all and they didn't give any mercy to each other. And afterwards
Right.
they were raising each other's hand, I mean, that was just, they
came up together too. Remember that?
Right. But they also, I mean, they broke the ceiling that was ruled by, Hashimoto, by Fujinami and Choshu, and and they were like, we're in our prime, we're coming into our prime, and we're better than everybody else here.
Yeah, I don't get that from Shota Umino.
No, you don't get that from any of those guys. I mean, they're just starting to come into themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and you talk about like, I mean, I don't remember learning much about Hashimoto on Excursion. I know he did some, but that was pretty under the radar. But
right.
But Chono made appearances in a lot of places, a lot of territories, and things. And of course, we know how, the world knows what happened to Great Muta on Excursion. But yeah, so this is terrible, and hopefully it'll go away, and hopefully it won't affect our collection. Hopefully,
can you imagine they're going to collect?
Don't fucking jinx it, Zeus. What are you doing?
There's going to be a card now.
Listen to me.
3 Musketeers.
Oh my God! It's going to be a 3 Musketeers card. No.
They're gonna have one where it like does a hologram thing where it fades from the Muto, Chono, Hashimoto into Tsuji.
Oh.
I don't get the Ren Narita. He doesn't really jump out at me that much. I know he's technically fine or whatever, but he doesn't seem very.
He's just an and like and okay fine Ren Narita and
I mean he's
not Shibata, that's for sure.
Right, but I mean he's just trying to find his identity.
Yeah.
I mean he's literally still like he's kind of under Suzuki's wing at the moment, and so he still looks like a young lion pretty much. He just has a mustache.
Right. I mean, I gotta give props to Yo, who was on one of the AEW shows. He did a fantastic job in the 6-man tag. I just gotta show him some props. He was killing it in the ring. He was killing it in the ring.
I missed them as a junior tag.
Yeah, but he was killing it in the ring, man. He was doing his thing, and I gotta give props. So it was good.
So then the other news is that Ibushi is going to return to GLEAT.
Oh, okay.
Who's going to show up at GLEAT? Because they were talking about him popping up. He was going to be the mystery tag partner in the AEW show. He was going to be Sting's tag partner, but it turned out being Naito.
Yeah. So I mean, so Ibushi is going to wrestle for GLEAT. Apparently, on that same show, Suzuki, Funaki, and Takahashi.
Funaki.
Yeah, and Takahashi
Jesus.
are all gonna be at that August 4th.
So I'm assuming he's all cleared from his concussions and everything in his neck.
Well, he found a doctor that would clear him.
That's the answer I'm looking for. Thank you, Zeus. Yeah, how many yen did it take? Yeah.
I mean, he just joins a giant list of wrestlers who shouldn't be doing stuff anymore, who still are.
Yeah, because I was talking to Lux last weekend, and because he's the one that gives me all my AEW news, and he was telling me, "Yo, I keep telling me, I'll be surprised if Kota Ibushi shows up." I'm like, I don't know about that. You say he can't wrestle, right? He can't wrestle.
Well, he's wrestled a little bit this year. He has,
yeah, but not that. Yeah, but you can't stick him on a pay-per-view and just have him go. I mean,
James,
is he ready to do that?
Was not Zeus? Sorry, Zeus. Was Sting not jumping off shit recently?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, through tables.
And does Sting not currently still suffer from spinal stenosis or something?
Yeah.
Any random bump he could die. So
what
was
I
this?
think that he was trying to do. He's trying to go out in the ring.
They're not going to just put who in the ring. I mean, they'll put anyone in a ring. This is anyone. Yeah. Anyone will do that. They'll be like, I saw some clip of some indie show, and it might have been a GCW show. I don't know, but they had this girl from Japan versus Masha Slamovich, and they're having like a death match or some shit. And they draped Masha Slamovich on this pane of glass against a steel cage wall. And the girl from Japan climbs up the turnbuckle and splashes her, and you see the glass just shooting out into all the fans. And there's like maybe 100.
Oh my God.
It's a tiny place. And there is so much glass just shooting at people. And I was just like, everyone is like just cool.
I got stabbed with a shooting glass from a ring. Yay! Sign my arm. It's bleeding. Yes, it's shining my blood.
How many times have we seen people almost catching a little, venue on fire recently? People just do anything now. It don't matter.
That's crazy. I don't know. It's. I don't know what's going on with wrestling. All I know is this. I watched SmackDown last night. They had a live show in the O2 in London. Leading up to the pay-per-view today, Money in the Bank. And that crowd was a hot crowd, number one. And two, the show was pretty good. It was all right. I was into it. And I haven't been into I haven't been into a SmackDown in a while. It was pretty good.
How was the Kana Asuka versus Charlotte match?
Shit. First of all, that's the only match where it ruined the show, in my opinion.
Really?
It was way too short. B, it was pulling everything. I understand you can't do it before the pay-per-view. I mean, they can't go all out, right before the pay-per-view. But they were both pulling their shit. And then you had the Bianca. They tried to turn Bianca Belair heel.
Which is dumb.
And the crowd was not going for it because Bianca was doing all the heel shit out of the crowd. And the fans are going crazy.
So, James, you remember when Bianca was a heel in NXT, right?
Yes.
She was a terrible heel. And I say this because she I'm not saying this to be mean. She just doesn't
it's just she doesn't have it.
She doesn't have a lot of personality in a way. No. She doesn't have a lot of charisma. Her charisma is just different. Like, she doesn't really have a character. I've said this many times. Her character is just like, I'm the EST and this. I mean, that's really all. She just has a little thing she says, and then she does amazing physical feats, right? She's
I agree, 100%.
Ungodly, unbelievable athletic.
She's strong like a bull. Yeah.
Her and Jeff Cobb are just like, it's almost a shame she's with the guy she's with, because her and Jeff Cobb should have a baby that would just be like the most.
Oh my God.
Damn Spider-Man.
Yeah, the problem is the baby would talk like Bobby Eaton.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus, Zeus.
So what?
Bobby, come on, orange. Double. Booter.
But when you have
Jesus.
someone like that, don't you just make them a face so this way the heels can bring all the stuff
Yeah.
to the story? Like
Now, Pedro, in that same vein, Charlotte Flair should never be a face because she's a heel.
yeah.
Okay? In that very same vein, Charlotte Flair should always be a heel. So she was the face last time. Asuka's supposed to be the heel, but she's getting over. Here comes Bianca Belair out the crowd as doing all this heel shit, and she's getting more pop than fucking both of them combined. She's not going to be. You can't make her a heel. You just can't.
I mean, the kids love Bianca Belair.
Right?
Like,
You can't make it.
They do.
It's like people love booing Charlotte Flair. Leave her. She works better as a heel. Oh, and just go back to Forbidden Door real quick. Zeus, you would appreciate this. They had the Japanese announcer there too, so he was announcing every match as well.
Oh yeah. That's
He was
all.
doing the ring announcer. Yeah, he was doing the ring announcer. So you heard Okada Kazuchika. It was hot. And they had red shoes in the ring. Everything. It was cool. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
James, when you have cosplay wrestling, you got to go full cosplay. So
I'm saying though, it's a nice touch, Pedro. You know, I like Ishii Tomohiro. I fucking marked out a little bit. All right, sue me. So no, but you're right, Pedro. I completely agree. All the kids love her. She doesn't have that personality. She has to stay a face. She's John Cena. You got to keep her the face of your company.
Her and Naomi had like similar issues, right? Neither one had a lot of character. They didn't have much charisma, but they both very marketable looks. That's one thing they both have. They're very, very awesome looks.
Yeah.
Physical, super athletes. Naomi didn't have nowhere near the level of Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair.
No, but she's athletic in her own right.
She was very athletic in her own right, but Bianca Belair is more capable mechanically in ring.
Right.
But both of them should have been marketing like juggernauts, right? Like they should have had, like we said this before, they should have had glowing dolls, glowing this, glowing that, flying off the shelves. Like kids would have just been eating this shit up.
Yeah, I get it, but
and
those in charge.
Think of how many outfits Bianca Belair goes through. She has all these amazing outfits. Her and Becky both have all these crazy outfits they pull out. Can you imagine if they had Barbie dolls of these people?
Yeah.
Can you imagine
and that would be great for Bianca for two reasons, because she can claim, she could get designer money too because she makes her own gear.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So if they base the designs off of her for dolls and whatever, I mean, she should get a piece of that too.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
You know how the Barbie dolls have the whole thing with the changing the clothes and stuff, and they just sell like little things of clothes. Imagine you could just be.
I got a Star Trek Ken and Bobby, so there you go. So trust me, I know.
I hope Ken's not in a red shirt. No.
I got to double check.
Well, hey, James, you brought up Money in the Bank. Should we go over the show?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good show. Okay. I honestly think because WWE pay-per-views have been on point lately.
Okay, so you got the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men's championship match. You got Ricochet.
LA Knight's going to win.
Ricochet versus Nakamura versus LA Knight versus Santos Escobar versus Butch versus Damian Priest versus Logan Paul. Only thing I want to say, Shinsuke Nakamura jobbed to Ricochet this week on TV.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, LA Knight is so over right now. He's going to win.
Zeus, any comment on Nakamura, former everything under the sun, losing to Ricochet?
Nakamura is building his retirement.
Yeah.
And he is happy.
He'll do whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean
I know.
I mean it's like Asuka. I mean
Asuka don't need any straps.
They'll do anything. Yeah,
they'll do anything. Besides, after being New Japan champion, everything else is like, meh. You know?
But I mean,
honestly.
you can't. I mean, can he go back? Really? Can he go back?
No way.
I
No
mean,
way.
Do y'all
No.
remember? Do
No
y'all
way.
remember that match against Muda earlier this year? I know it's against Muda, but I mean, it's a nothing match, right? So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. It's basically he's wrestling WWE style.
yeah.
Right. So that was the point I was just about to make, Zeus. I think he's been indoctrinated to the WWE style so long that I don't know if he remembers to get back into that actual New Japan style of wrestling again. Because he's been taking it light for a long time.
Well, don't you think it's more a case of this is a man who's, I mean, wasn't his neck supposedly at one point in time just in like tatters, like just in horrible shape? So like,
He's
the
definitely
benefit for
changed a lot.
him to work like that hard style again?
Yeah, and he's getting paid lovely, so he's good. He don't care as long as he's not lazy anymore. That's my point. That's fine.
So, James, you said LA Knight's winning.
LA Knight's going to win. He is like ridiculously over right now with everyone.
He does seem the most likely candidate. I don't know. I mean, Logan Paul, would they give it to Logan Paul?
No, it's either LA Knight or it's going to be Damian Priest.
Oh, Damian Priest. So then you have
either one of those.
You have the women's Money in the Bank, which is Zelina Vega versus Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark versus Bayley versus Io Shirai versus Trish Stratus.
Io's going to win.
That's the rumor I keep hearing, but that makes me think it's gonna be someone else.
Well, it's not going to be Trish. It's not going to be Zoe Stark because it's too soon. I mean, like, who else? I don't see Zelina Vega as a viable because, I mean, you see Rhea Ripley manhandle her? She's too small. You know? I mean, I like Zelina Vega, but I like Zelina Vega, but she makes Dakota Kai look like Andre the Giant. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that's a good one, James. That's really good.
I really love Starlight Kid, but I always hear her size being brought up. It probably is like some people are just way too tiny.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a viable look at least, there is something called physics.
Now, here's the match. This has to be the main event, right? Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio.
No, that's not the main event. But there's a rumor. There's a rumor going around. I hope it's not true, but there's a rumor going around that during that match, Rhea Ripley's going to get involved. And supposedly there's going to be a person there for Rhea Ripley.
Oh, no, you're talking about Brandy, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the rumor. I hope it doesn't happen, but that's the rumor.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know.
Man, can Rhea Ripley carry Brandy?
That's the question.
I mean, it would actually be more competitive for Rhea Ripley to wrestle Cody Rhodes and Dominic to wrestle Brandy.
Exactly. Zeus. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But it was put out there, so I'm like, yeah.
For the quote-unquote World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor.
I mean, that should be a pretty decent match. I mean, it should be good. They'll be building
WWE it up. I mean, Seth is being, he's like Uber Seth. I mean, he's like Seth to the nth degree, and I don't even watch it. I just see it from clips and things on Twitter. You can just tell he's just that. It's just working for him, and I mean,
it is working for him.
Power to him because I mean, it's like it's kind of funny because he's kind of like somebody else who like embraced the hate. It's like, oh, well, you don't like me acting like this. Well, guess what? I'm going to turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm going to turn it up to 27 because that's what he's.
Yep, and now they love it. Right.
Okay.
So it's Uh-huh.
So sometimes you have to do a 180, and sometimes you just got to drive right into it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, Zeus, and he's doing it. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is, as long as nobody gets hurt. Because,
Right.
Finn Balor, like if you touch on the wrong way, it breaks,
Yeah,
So,
sadly, he's not the sturdiest
No.
boy in the jar.
no. So, that's my only concern from stopping it from being a really good match,
Well,
No, because
it's 2023. That's.
I know. Yes, I know, Zeus. It's not 10 years ago. I know. But,
hey, you want to know something that's crazy? Is I think it's in like another year or so. It's going to be 10 years since Lucha Underground first aired.
Really?
Wasn't it like
Man, that long?
2014 or 2015?
Shit.
I don't remember now.
I think
It's
it was.
wrong.
Let me look it up here.
I want to say it's the fall of 2014, but I could be wrong.
10 years already?
Or was it the fall of 2015? It's
2014.
Yeah. So it's next year is 10 years.
October 29th, 2014.
Oh my God. So next October of next year is going to be 10 years? Jesus.
Yeah.
Time for the movie. Time for the movie to happen.
Lucha Underground, the movie.
Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler defend the WWE Women's Tag Team
Nobody
titles
cares.
against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Nobody cares.
Hey, Zeus, you're wrong because someone cares about some cake in that match.
Well, yeah, we know James is going to be watching that.
Wait a minute.
He's going to be watching all the.
Wait, hold on. I like Raquel Rodriguez. I can't get rest, and that's it. Everybody else can eat it. I don't like the way WWE is using her, though.
You have said this so many times, James. James, we know you would take great care of Raquel.
We know you would use her so much better.
Yeah, you'd be booking her so much better. And, you'd be showcasing her assets in the best way possible. Because there's few people that we've had on this show that are as beloved to James as Raquel Gonzalez. From the moment she debuted in NXT, James has been all about some Raquel Gonzalez.
I don't know what you're talking about, Zeus. You got the wrong number. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I just work here. Today's my first day. I don't want to.
Yeah, right. You're a different James Sarno than the guy who's been on this show for the last 205 episodes.
I don't like the way they book it. That's all I want to say about that. But go ahead. I digress. Pedro, go ahead, quick.
Gunther defends the Intercontinental title against Matt Riddle. How much longer does Gunther have to go for the Honky Tonk Man?
I don't know. I want him to face Roman Reigns, but that's just me.
Roman Reigns surpassed Pedro Morales recently.
Yeah. Wasn't that the point, though?
Yeah, but
right?
I'm just saying it happened while we were not doing this.
Yeah.
Now, I imagine this match has to be the main event. It's the Bloodline. It's Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. That has to be the main event, right?
Yeah. That's the main event. So it should be pretty decent, So we'll see what happens,
That's the biggest story in wrestling, so yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, they were beating the shit out of each other last time on SmackDown, so,
I can't remember what it was. I was watching something, and they were talking about that a lot of people are going not to see a match lately, like the WWE shows. A lot of fans want to go just so they can say, I was there when XYZ chapter of the Bloodline story happened.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. They're not even coming to see a match. They're coming to
see, it's all about the story because the story is intriguing,
They want to say they were there.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I think that's like kind of everything now. I mean, because you're going to see everybody
Right.
on most of these shows.
Right.
Like
exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because before, back in the 80s, this is what it's supposed to be, but it just might not happen.
Right.
And things change, but they're able to, they're smartly, working this story, and it, I think that was I think it was a good move, for them to do what they're doing now. But it just kind of shows the point is the story's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the most memorable thing. I mean, it really is. I mean, it don't matter.
This is the one thing that WWE has gotten right.
Yeah, I mean, they placed the emphasis of the story over anything else because it's more memorable. I mean, we know that this story, that the whole Roman Reigns things has been going on for what, 3 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this, ever since he told him to kiss, the fans to kiss his ass, I mean, it's been, really, really high up, and it's worked, and it's been a lot of what people talked about, and
it's the simple little things too that you actually may not notice at first, but if you take if you take a step back, you go, okay. Like the way they have Solo teetering in the beginning on which side he was going to go on. Even though they introduced a new belt to Roman, Paul Heyman still carries the two old school belts on his shoulder.
Whoa.
Sorry.
It looks like he's a grand champion.
Calm down, Zeus.
Sorry,
Zeus is breaking shit. Because I'm ready to take on Roman. No. So it's like the way like Paul Heyman carries both belts. So it's always like Roman's a grand champion. It's the way how they have little Sami Zayn in their backyard vignettes. Like all the back room vignettes. It's just looking at Jay without saying anything. It's all the little things that just keep adding to it. And then you're actually like, wow, this is really intriguing, and this is something that I really want to get into. So I think it's good.
Hey, James, I got a question for you because I didn't see it. I heard there was a Gunther Sami Zayn match that people were praising. Was it good? Did you see it? Or
I didn't see the Gunther Sami Zayn match. I'm sorry.
I don't know if it was last week or when.
I saw Gunther dancing at an Indian wedding, and he was killing it on the dance floor. I saw that.
Do what? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, man, it's on Insta. He's on the dance floor in an Indian wedding, and his wife or his girlfriend or whoever it is, and he's killing it. So,
hey, we should
R.I.P.
Yeah, I was gonna say R.I.P. to Darren Drozdoff.
Oh yeah.
That's a shame. Did they announce what he died from? Or it's still he just or he's passed?
I haven't heard that. Have they said?
I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard. But I mean, it's not like he was living a great life.
I'm sure his injuries were probably, they were taking his toll, plus all the meds he was on.
It just says of natural causes.
You don't die of natural causes at 54 years old.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's like if his organs just shut down.
Right.
I mean, it's just that, at 54 in his condition is.
Right, it's different. Right.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, but R.I.P. to the Draws,
like I was telling y'all the other day, that, I think I only saw him live once, and it was when they had the Legion, when he was in the Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom?
Yeah.
That was before the Heidenreich or after? That's after Heidenreich, right?
Oh, no, it's way before.
Way before? Okay.
Way before Heidenreich. Yeah. It was because Hawk, Animal, and Draws all came to the ring.
Right. Okay, there you go. Right.
But
that's what you said, yeah.
They kept Hawk on the outside because he was, battling his demons.
Right.
And it was so sad because, like, this is in Greensboro, and the crowd just they weren't into the match at all. You know, I tried to chant, "We want Hawk." Nobody cared.
Right.
Wow, that's sad.
It was just, that was, definitely one of the darkest times for the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
When did his accident happen? When did the in-ring incident happen?
I was on a SmackDown taping, I believe, and I was when SmackDown was being taped, and that's when D'Lo Brown dropped him on his head. Well, as the story goes, he was wearing like a really loose-fitting shirt, and D'Lo Brown didn't have a proper grip, and then he picked him up anyway, and he landed on his head, and then like he was carried out in the ring. The actual crowd, it was never shown on SmackDown because it was a tape show at that time. So the whole thing was never shown on television. So all we saw was clips of it afterwards. And he was just dropped on his head. It was an accident.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if that was in '99 or.
I believe.
Oh, shit. Somebody look it up. I don't remember.
It was before the buyout, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think so. Remember, he was puked before that.
Yeah.
He's gonna
puke me.
October 5th, 1999.
There you go.
At the Nassau Coliseum.
There you go.
And it was just 5 months after the death of Owen Hart.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And you're right. He was wearing a loose-fitting shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was the story, because he wasn't wearing his normal attire. So.
It said when D'Lo tried his signature running powerbomb, he wasn't able to gain a proper grip.
And the way he went, the way Draws was supposed to protect himself, he didn't have the opportunity to, or he fell directly on the base of his neck or some shit like that, and just it just blew out his whole spine.
Yeah, I saw Draws twice.
Did you?
Yeah.
A house show in June '98, and then on a Raw in like early November of '98.
I never saw Draws live. Never. Apparently, he was a pretty good athlete. So.
Well, he was in the NFL, right?
Yeah. But R.I.P. to Darren Draws. I give the WWE credit for this. I heard they took care of him until the day he passed.
Mm.
They paid for everything.
And it's funny how they some people they've really taken care of, and some people they haven't.
They haven't. I know, it's weird, right?
It's very oddly selective, and it's part of the that's part of the problem of being a pro wrestler is, there's no retirement fund. I'm sure they can get 401k now, but
now it's a lot different what it used to be,
Yeah,
yeah, because you open up your own IRA, so you can do money market, you can do your whole retirement fund. But back then it was different,
And hey, James, maybe you should be selling some insurance and some,
Yeah, I'll say a couple of wrestlers under my wing. Why not?
Hey, I had a coworker when I was selling Red Bull, and we all had our own routes. He got his insurance salesman training, and he started selling Aflac to independent convenience store employees.
That's smart.
Yeah, who wouldn't have had the chance. They,
That's
like
smart.
these tiny little, mom and pop places that hire people, and he helped them get health insurance and things. for people who wouldn't have normally been able to get that.
Yeah.
So
No, that's smart. I mean, you have to remember too. Back then, nobody got guaranteed pay, so it was impossible to get any kind of benefits, let alone health benefits. And
Yeah.
now it's different. 'Cause now people sign contracts, X amount of money, and so forth. And you can really, if I can understand, if there, I don't know if there is one, but it would be smart for a company to invest in just for like professional athletes who don't have insurance, or like an IRA, or like a money market account to like pool their resources and make something like that. Or just in case things happen for like a Darren Drozdoff.
Yeah, I mean, there are companies like that.
I know Lloyd's of London used to do shit like that, right?
Yeah. They've taken care of a lot of athletes over the years.
Yeah.
But the premiums are massive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure. I would imagine.
And all those guys that they were working with were guys that were getting guaranteed contract money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows how these wrestlers can, if you're, contracted to one of the three major companies in America right now, you could probably, they really should be.
Yeah, but Zeus, to your point though, it's funny, right? Because the Darren Drozdoff, they took care of unconditionally. Owen Hart, clusterfuck.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking more of I'm not 100% sure why I'm saying this, but I believe they also took really good care. Remember the kid with one leg?
Oh yeah.
I heard that they've always been really good to him.
Really?
As well. So they put that poor kid in the ring with the Big Show.
Yeah.
I think that deserves a lot more than a pat on the back. So
yeah,
whatever, however they've been to him, but I think I tell you something else too is that who's a wrestler's worst enemy? They're themselves.
Oh, yeah, themselves.
So there's been ever since shoot videos started happening, and they didn't people just didn't know when to shut up, and and then everyone was cool for talking about all the kayfabe and everything like that, and it's like, well, it's biting you in the ass now. So
yeah, it is.
But because when they would when they talk shit about Vince or whatever, and it's like, and then it's like, oh well, 2 years later, it's like, oh, I didn't really manage my money well as I thought I had, and I had to get my knee fixed and whatever, and I'm $30,000 out, and I'm gonna have to go talk to somebody about trying to get back in with the E.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
That's kind of like Jake, Jake Robert, and Pedro, you got to watch it, the JYD thing. But it's like, I felt like Jake Roberts he was the pot calling the junkyard dog black.
Yeah, you know what, Zeus? I'm actually glad you brought that up about the JYD episode of Dark Side of the Ring. He got
the nerve to talk about him not showing up for something.
He was saying a lot of shit about JYD. They deemed him unreliable. I was like in the E, and I'm like, really? You're gonna say that?
Yeah, I'm like, motherfucker, you didn't show up for your own comedy show thing at WrestleCade and fucking damn.
Are you shitting me? You're gonna say that?
Had to go out there and carry it on his own with no planning. Yeah, let's talk about no shows.
Even worse than no show. How about when you showed up at Heroes of Wrestling, completely unfunctional?
Oh, I forgot about that shit, James.
Completely
that feels like a whole alternate universe event now. Like,
yeah,
that actually.
And then you're gonna call out JYD for being fucked up and missing shows? Really? Easy, killer. Easy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, I give all the props in the world for Jake for making the comeback and turning everything around. You know, here you go. But you can't talk shit like that.
Sort of turned around.
True, but I mean,
some potholes in the way.
Yeah, but you can't talk shit like that. I mean, you can't say shit like that.
It's like, you know,
I mean, you know, I don't know.
Don't lose your mind over it, James. It's
Because even DiBiase was saying we were all fucked up. All of us were.
Yeah.
Axel Jim Duggan said the same thing. He said all of us were doing it. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, all the wrestlers were doing all kinds of stuff.
I mean, especially back then in the 80s in Mid-South, they were all fucking heads. All of them.
Yeah, James, everybody that was successful in the 80s was doing cocaine, right?
Got that right. Woo!
See, James tell you like it is.
I was a stunt double in Cocaine Bear.
Just so good, just so good. Cocaine.
You know, so hey, listen, man. So you know, don't you can never call. I never judge anyone, and I can't because you can't call a pot. You just can't do that. You can't. A, you have to own up to your own actions, and B, you can't sit there and point. The hypocrisy is ridiculous. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know. You shouldn't do a jump. You shouldn't do a drop kick for the jump rope. Well, that was your finisher. Yeah, but that was me. No, you can't do that.
On the Junkyard Dog, so I haven't seen the episode, but I know
it's good. It's a little sad, but it's good.
I've mentioned, isn't that every episode?
Yeah, well, you know what it was in a nutshell, Pedro? He was expecting to be in the WWE exactly what he was in Mid-South. Because in the Mid-South, he was the man. And in WWE, he was not. He was teaming with Hogan.
Well, you know, and the thing was, too, though, is...
He was over, but he wasn't Hogan.
Right, but the thing is, too, we don't know what was said behind closed doors.
I agree. Right.
So we know he was Pedro. He said he told his nephew that he was making 6 figures quarterly on his merch while he was in WWF.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's crazy. I mean, if you're thinking,
hey, I've said on this show before, I've said it more than once even, when I was a kid, when I was a small kid, especially that time period they had that cartoon out. Junkyard Dog for a period of time was my favorite wrestler.
He was a lot of people's favorite.
I mean, I don't know what it was. Junkyard Dog came on. It was like, oh, Junkyard Dog. You start mimicking him and all this stuff. Like, I mean,
according to the way the episode was presented on the episode, it made it seem like he wanted to be Hogan. You know, he wasn't like.
It kind of
how come I'm not making this?
Like he wanted to be he wanted to be like the top guy almost.
Yeah. He wanted to be he wanted to be like what he was in Mid-South. But Vince McMahon is not Bill Watts.
Well, I mean, it just these recipes and combinations of things. You can't always recapture that lightning in a box.
No.
And it just I mean, I'm sure he benefited so much from being there and he was the most popular character on that cartoon. Remember the cartoon? Everybody loved JYD in the cartoon. He was everybody's favorite. So, but I mean, it's just like,
I didn't realize he was so young when he died.
Yeah.
I was sad about the puke on the car door, right, Zeus? I was fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But we get to hear from you'll enjoy it, Pedro. You get to hear from Coco Beware and
yeah, and him and Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas,
Tony Atlas is always I like listening to his interviews. He's always fun to listen to, even if he can never keep his story straight on the Bruiser Brody death. He's always fun to listen to.
Yeah, I and because I lived in Roanoke when I was little, and that's where he's from. I instantly liked Tony Atlas when I was a kid. Plus, he had the Superman spandex, and he just
everybody loved Tony Atlas until he became Samba Simba.
And my grandmother loved him too.
Samba Simba, Jesus,
yeah,
that was terrible.
The Samba Simba thing. Put aside the uncomfortable stuff we can discuss with it. Okay, yeah. Tony Atlas had all this history in the WWF,
right?
Like he was the first black tag team champion. Him and Rocky Johnson, remember?
There's no reason to repackage him as anything. He's Tony Atlas.
Right.
We already have a relationship with his character in this promotion. You know what I mean? Like it made no sense. It's like when they brought back Ricky Dragon Steamboat and they had him do the fire breathing thing. And it was like, but we all know who this man is. We all have a relationship with his character, like both the WWF version and the other version. Like we don't need now another version. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. No, actually, next week is Adrian Adonis, so that should be interesting.
Oh,
that should be.
Yeah.
I just saw.
Is it on this Tuesday because it's July 4th? Is it on or?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's Vice. It's not like.
Yeah,
they declared bankruptcy, so I'm sure they're going to take advantage of anything that they can.
Right. That's true. It's sad.
But I just saw a really cool photo of Adrian Adonis when he teamed a little bit with Tully Blanchard before.
That's old school. That's old.
I was like, wow, I didn't know that until.
What was that? Houston?
It must have been.
Had to be, right? Because wasn't Tully Blanchard in Houston exclusively when he was young, and then he broke out.
I'm pretty sure it kind of went like that.
Yeah, because it was Houston. That's the only place. Because I know Adrian Adonis was all over the place. He was in Mid-South, he was in Florida,
Portland and Canada.
Portland, Canada.
He went everywhere.
Right. Yeah, San Francisco.
AWA.
Right.
There, I saw a really cool picture of Greg Valentine. It's an old picture, but he's holding. I'm trying to think of the title he's holding. It says like America's Heavyweight Wrestling Champion.
It could be a version of an AWA strap.
And he's just covered in blood. I'll post it in the chat, but
yeah.
It was really cool looking. I was like,
so Blanchard was in Southwest Championship from 75 to 84.
Wow, look at it, almost 10 years.
And then he came to Jim Crockett in 84.
So that means it had to be in Houston, yeah.
I posted.
Because all right, cool. So because Adrian Adonis wasn't in Crockett. So way after that, wasn't he? After he left WWE the first time?
Do what?
After Adonis left WWE the first time, that's when he had a stint in Crockett, right?
Adonis?
Yeah.
I don't remember him ever being in Crockett.
No? I could have sworn he was in there for like a cup of coffee. That was before he came back and did the exotic Adrian Adonis.
See, a lot of people, because Adrian Street was in Crockett,
right?
and I think people get that confused.
Maybe it could be. Maybe. Oh yeah. Damn, Pedro. That's an old school belt too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool picture though. Like, it's cool.
Because I know. Remember when Adonis was in WWF the first time? Him and Dick Murdoch were tag team champions.
Yes.
Right.
Then he left. I could have sworn he went to. Could have sworn he went to Crockett for a cup of coffee, and then he went somewhere else. Then he came back. That's when he was doing the whole exotic thing. Yeah, because he got that from Adrian Street.
Okay.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, it.
That's. I mean, it could be my memory too, because I get up sometimes. So, but
yeah, because I mean, Adonis worked with Jesse the Body Ventura in WWF
and AWA. Right,
and then he started working with Dick Murdoch. So I mean, he could have been there. He could, I mean, it would have been a brief.
Yeah, because after he came back is when he came back with the gimmick. He had the Adrian Street gimmick going on.
The Wikipedia. Well, I'm not saying Wikipedia is a definitive source of history. By the way, let me put that disclaimer there. But they have him in the WWF from 81 to 87. They don't have him like taken off anywhere until after 87 when he goes to the AWA. And so I don't know.
Well, it's like 79. It says 79 to 81. He was in AWA. Right. But the North-South connection was 83 to 85, and then he became, adorable in 85. So, I mean, it could have been like somewhere in between. It could have been like somewhere during that, the AWA time. Like you said, it could have been a cup of coffee. It could have been because I mean, hell, I mean, Hogan was supposed to be at the first Starrcade. I mean,
yeah.
So, but yeah, I think a lot of people kind of get it,
I want to throw out there, and I think I've said this before, but everyone should check out the Bob Backlund, Adrian Adonis WWF title matches. Those were really good.
I thought Adrian Adonis was an insane wrestler, mat wrestler. Even when he ballooned, I mean, even when he was completely round, that man could move. I mean, even when he's round, he's taking arm drag bumps, like I mean, like he was, thrown over the top. I mean, he was moving around the ring like he was 150 pounds, and he wasn't. He was. I mean, and especially in later years, he was in horrible shape. But that man moved.
Yeah,
that man can move in the ring, and he can wrestle. He can actually wrestle. Yeah.
But I'm glad that Junkyard Dog's getting, he being recognized for being as popular as he was.
Well, he deserves it, Zeus.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, the world of pro wrestling is never about what you deserve.
That is true.
And for a long time online, a lot of the wrestling fans in the internet community have been dogging him for like decades. Like,
yeah,
they're like, oh, his matches were bad. His, it's this and this.
Yeah, because there's so much shit talked about, like just the, because that all goes back to like Ric Flair in 1990 talking about how, he basically had to do the whole match, and JYD just stood in the middle of the ring and
yeah, I heard that story. Yeah,
I'm like, but that's what he was great at.
That's what he was. Right. Yeah. You built them out. You build the match around.
I mean, he's not
everything he can do.
He's not going to trade the fucking Indian Deathlock with you for your figure four.
Right.
He was so over. He's going to bark like a dog. He's going to throw his chain around.
He was over in his promos. He was over in his entrance, and then all he basically did was a body slam, and people loved it.
Okay, I need someone to make Junkyard Dog on WWE 2K and have him do a Canadian Destroyer, have him do a Spanish Fly, have him do a Super Kick.
Please. Oh my god, yeah. But all he did was a body slam, and it got such old, and it was a guy to use pop for it.
Wasn't they didn't really mention it per se, but wasn't the Michael Hayes talked about it. He used to talk about it a lot when he was a commentator. Like anytime they would talk about the Superdome or whatever, he would brag that him and JYD like had the biggest wrestling. They had the biggest wrestling crowd in the Superdome.
Yeah, they say that match sold it out a couple of times or something like that. Yeah,
it definitely at least one. It might have been that culmination of the hair cream feud.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
that was a big thing back then. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they.
Well, wasn't it a big thing with him and him and DiBiase? I mean, him and DiBiase were huge, and then they became tag partners. Remember that? And that's when it really got huge.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. But it's it's good that he gets his propers in a little way,
Yeah.
So it's all right, good for him. And actually good for all the promoters who never made JYD tap out in the middle of a ring. That's all I'm gonna say.
And which led to people doing tracing art of it, and that just makes us cringe. But
if JYD had ever tapped out to Mike Jackson, I think that would have been the same.
Yeah, that's the same analogy, right? I still can't believe they made Okada tap. That just did not burn me. I was like, what?
One of us needs to take that picture that guy. We won't say the guy's name, but I don't want to slander anyone. But that guy used to trace for
that guy that
the Danielson Okada one.
Yeah.
We need to take that photograph, but have we need to draw a JYD making the face Okada's making.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I can't do that to the dog.
Nah, Zeus, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I can't do that to the dog.
Don't do it. Now, if you want to draw a pair of balls on Danielson's face, I'm with that. But don't do it.
Oh,
because we both from North Kakalaki.
Yeah. So don't do it. Don't do it. But it was good. I'm gonna look forward to Adrian and Don. I'm gonna look forward to the pay-per-view in a little while because it's such a 3:00 our time here. Well, that's 2:00 for you, Pedro, right?
Right.
So it's So it should be good. I'm gonna watch it.
You enjoy it
because it's either watch that or go outside in 158-degree weather. So no, I'm good.
I'm cooking the sun.
Nah, I don't need to cook in the sun. I'm good.
I'm not gonna literally cook,
I don't need the Ox Baker exploding heart punch to the chest. I'm good.
Oh man, Ox Baker and the heart punch.
Didn't he actually kill somebody with that? Or is that just rumor? Or is that urban legend?
That has to be just myth.
Is that urban legend?
Zeus, did he?
What's that?
Did
Ox Baker actually kill somebody with a heart punch?
No, I don't think that. I think that is all.
It's all urban legend, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. That's like saying, "Oh, I saw Ox Baker punch somebody in the chest and the guy's heart landed in the third row."
Yeah, I believe that was a lot of the mystique.
Yeah.
Because a lot of especially now, people people have been really judgy about New Jack.
Oh, about all his urban legends.
Well, I mean, he's got 4 real homicides. I mean, he's got 4.
Yeah.
He's got 4,
And they're all justifiable
homicides.
too. And they're justifiable.
Yeah, and
That's insane.
So,
yeah.
Look, it's pro wrestling. It's a crazy business. They're full of like criminals and everything under the sun.
Dirtbags.
But what I'm the reason I bring that up is because, like, I think if Ox Baker had actually killed somebody with a wrestling,
Yeah.
I think people would have dragged him through the mud by 2023.
Right. True.
We need Ox Baker going like I had 4 justifiable homicides in the ring.
Well, who was? I mean,
we lost him at age 80 in 2014. By the way,
yeah. He was definitely a character.
Yeah,
definitely a character. Ox Baker, that's some shit.
Sometimes before that before the Me Too stuff in 2020 with the wrestling business, you would see a lot of the newer wrestling fans would be like, our wrestlers, the newer ones, they're like, they don't do the stuff the older wrestlers did. They didn't they didn't take advantage of women. They didn't do this, they didn't do that. Yeah. And then all this stuff came out, and it was like, oh, you're telling me the wrestlers you like now, who were trained by the wrestlers from the past, continue to do all the scummy stuff that the people from the
past. Well,
unbelievable.
Know what interview got me? What Stone Cold we do the Smoking Skull sessions?
Okay.
Right, so he was interviewing Bobby Lashley was the guest.
Oh.
And Bobby Lashley first came to WWE, left, went to TNA, and boom, came back.
Yeah.
So also asking him, well, what was the biggest difference after you came back? He goes, well, like after the show, I was ready for a few drinks to hit the bar, see if I could find any ladies. But instead, everybody's in one room playing video games. I was like, damn. He said he was ready to go for a few drinks and look for some ladies. And he said everybody was all huddled in one room playing video games instead, all drinking all those energy drinks and shit like that. So
I mean, we're finding out that like we're seeing that the guys are their bodies are breaking down just as bad off steroids as they were on steroids. These guys.
Well, they're doing stupid shit too now. Just 8,000 flips, 6,000 chair shots, 800 super kicks to your chin. I mean,
the spinal fusion surgery industry is going to be off the chart here in the next 5 years.
That should have been a surgery.
Especially like in Japan, because Naito and Ibushi and. Some of these guys have been, just dropped on their head so many times.
Yeah. Jeez. Especially Bushi. Oh,
James. If only
Kawada. I mean,
James, you mentioned the bazillion super kicks to the chin. The thought in my head was like, if only they actually landed on anything.
Well, yeah, but if you're trying to sell 150 super kicks, you're gonna keep snapping your neck back. I mean,
yeah, that's true. But I was gonna say you're gonna be like, oh, they all have like something's going on with their leg where they slap their leg. Infinite amount of times.
No more. If you're trying to sell 50 super kicks in a match, you keep snapping back your neck. Soon the lady's going to give.
Yeah, that's true. That motion is bad.
Yeah, it's bad for you. So it's I don't. It's wrestling, as you said, Pedro, and
that's right.
That's why. And
I don't say it's wrestling.
Yeah, I know it's cosplay. I get it. Trust me, I can get into a nice long debate with you, but I don't want to, because you're right. Because you're right, it's cosplay. You're absolutely right. But I chose to. I think. Listen, if I'm gonna bitch about every little thing I see, then why watch it?
Well,
which is why we don't watch it.
Is why we're not really watching it.
Yeah, but I like wrestling so much not to watch it.
And that's fine. We love you and we want you to be happy.
Yes.
You know, because I'm all in the bloodline storyline. You know what I'm saying? I'm all in. You know, I'm all in with Rhea Ripley and fucking President Dom. I think that's awesome. You know,
I enjoy seeing snippets here and there, and then there's other times where we see a guy wrestling a camping tent that
The only thing I'm not all in about it is Okada tapping out. I'm not in on that.
There was a conversation this week. I'm not gonna call anyone out, but there was a conversation this week about botches, and someone was trying to say that it's just it has to do with the camera angles, that they're not really botching, that it's just camera angles. And I was thinking, no, we've seen a good.
No, we've seen a shitload of botches.
People not being able to do a move. People just like
everywhere. WWE, AEW, you fucking name it. Yeah, there's botches everywhere.
There are tons of legit botches every week, every place. So botches is a huge. It's just, but I think we've said this before. I think it's part of the appeal for a lot of the fans now. They want to see that stuff because to them it's like seeing me knock the speaker off the desk during a live stream. Like
because it's entertaining. Nonetheless, it's entertaining, right?
Or you go to a hockey game to see a fight.
Right, exactly.
Or a NASCAR race to see a wreck.
Right, exactly. I went to a boxing match and a hockey game broke out. Right. So it's just it's the same thing. And look, I can easily be on your side, Pedro, and bitch about everything, but I started to go down the route. But then I said to myself, well, then if I'm going to bitch and moan every single week, then why am I going to watch it? But I like wrestling too much to not watch it. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm going to just go with the flow. If it's good, I'm going to enjoy it. If it's bad, I'll comment and shit on it. But I'm just going to enjoy exactly what I'm going to see. I'm going to take everything with a grain of salt. I know these days, and yes, I'm going to, unlike you, Pedro, I'm going to call people out. I'm going to call out the AEW idiot fans and say, because all of us have to deal with them. I get it. And you know what? I'll deal with them. Because I don't get half the shit that they get. I don't get it. So I'll call them out. I'm like, I don't know if you know what the fuck you're talking about. But I'm going to enjoy the show for what it is. I can't watch AEW every week. I can't do it. But I'll watch the pay-per-view here and there. And that's it. I'm going to enjoy today's Money in the Bank. I'm sure there's going to be botches. I'm sure somebody's going to slip. I'm sure there's going to be a misstep or timing.
And as long as there's no injuries, like you said earlier.
Right, exactly. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. I don't want to see nobody break their arm like Danielson did. Because, God forbid having a Finn Balor, oh my God, now
that would be crazy if he dislocated his shoulder again against.
Oh my God! They would have to bring out the broom and the fucking shovel, to put everything back together again. Yeah. So it's just, I'm just gonna enjoy the show for what it is from now on. It's just, hey, listen, it's cosplay.
Well,
it is.
Look,
is.
The reason I say it's cosplay, James, is nowadays it feels like people dressing up as wrestling and doing like kind of routines and just being like, you see what we did? We're wrestlers doing wrestling. It's not, and like so much of it is like, did you see what we did? Did you see the match we just? It's like. It's
Pedro, I agree, and I'm so over with Fart doing Bret Hart shit. I'm so over that already. Okay.
I mean, it's not like
that.
When I say it's cosplay, I'm not saying just that they're like. I mean, sometimes we do have loads of examples of them like literally cosplaying matches or moments. But a lot of it's just like, they're putting on a costume and they're like, look, we're wrestlers and look, we just did this thing. Isn't it amazing?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like they're fighting. They're really having a competition over something. Even if it was fake or whatever in the past, they're like, did you see XYZ do this silly bump in 1972? And they say the wrestling is bad now, but it's even if they did a goofy bump or a goofy selling or whatever back then, it still felt like they were fighting over something. They still kept the
right.
like we are fighting over either a title, we're fighting because we have a personal issue, we're fighting to get higher in the ranking, we're fighting, for something. Now it's just like it doesn't feel like a fight. It just feels like let's do this exhibition. Look at us. Oh,
Yeah. No, yeah, it's changed. As soon as cable TV came to play with the ratings, this and sponsors, all that shit changed. Everything now it's all about all the oohs and ahs. Even if it's a botch, even if it's something great, it's all about the oohs and ahs. Did you see this week? He fucked up that move. Oh no, really? I can't wait to watch it next week. That's exactly what it's become now.
The bloodline angle, even if it's a lot of it's like telenovela, at least it's like it feels like it's over issues, right?
Right.
It's like that Royal Rumble match between Roman and Kevin Owens. The match was nothing special, but people were going nuts because of the little angle moments throughout the match, and then the post-match stuff where they turned on Sami Zayn and everything.
Right, agreed.
That's the stuff that made people go nuts. The match didn't even matter. But
I just want to nitpick about one thing, and it's really nitpicking, and I don't know if it's this generation or what, but what is with all the ugly belts?
What's
going on? Where I gotta sit here and Zeus, I gotta actually sit here and say that the AEW Women's Championship is the best looking belt out of the bunch.
What?
It's better than that New Japan Strong TV title shit. It's better than any of the WWE. That ugly gold shit that Roman wore, that's nasty looking. And they totally fucked up the big gold, that big WWE logo that Seth Rollins is wearing. That's ugly as shit. I mean, where are these belts? Who are making these belts? It all started the fucking Transformer belt. I mean, come on.
Well, it started before that. I mean, remember that 24/7 belt? That was before the Transformer belt.
Well, that was just a garbage lid in a green strap, yeah. The frisbee with some writing on it.
You think the women's title is the best looking one? I don't know.
I think it's better looking than most of the shit that's today. I'm talking about today. Because it's one that resembles a belt the most. I don't like the Transformer.
The new one that's based on the Mid-South title.
I'm looking at it. It's okay, but like doesn't. I still rather look at like the AML championship or something.
I'm not talking about the AML. I'm talking about the shit you see on TV week after week.
Oh yeah, all these. I mean, the WWE belts are ugly. I mean, the rest of the AEW belts are ugly. I mean, Jesus, they can't even name a belt right. It's
exactly. That
this is the Atlantic Championship where we represent China and Japan.
Right.
With the Atlantic Ocean that they don't touch.
Right. So that's a cluster. How many times you got into the IWGP strap? I mean, please.
Yeah.
So it's just gotten shit. That belt that fucking Gumby wore to that ring was atrocious.
That TV strap belts are really pretty bad right now. Yeah,
that looks like shit. I'm like, what is that? I mean, I who wants to fight for that shit? I'll trade you a buck. I'll trade you a box of fucking Twinkies and a 6-pack for that belt. I'm not fighting you. No.
Do most of the title matches feel like they're really fighting for the title?
It's because I first of all, I think there are way too many titles in wrestling.
But that's always been a thing, though.
That's not. No, it's even more. It's worse.
No, Pedro, it's a lot more now.
New Japan they're on the verge of creating some more belts. I just have
why?
Every week, New Japan's got a new title.
Why do they have all the ones they have? The TV title doesn't mean anything. The open weight doesn't mean anything anymore. How many
world champions does WWE need? He's a world champion and a universal champion. I mean, come on. You need one champion to go on both shows. That's how it should be done.
Look, I mean, and with the WWE, they had a real easy thing to do, okay? Roman unified the belts, and then they unified the tag belts. So those belts are just that. That's what it should have been.
Right.
Then the Intercontinental title and the U.S. titles, those are the ones you split up. One is on this, one is on the other, and that's how they should have played it.
Agreed. And
I
they
mean,
fucked that up.
Walter Gunther is in a chasing Honky Tonk Man's title record. Like, so you already have a big thing to get behind. That's like a Seth Rollins or someone could have tried to end or whatever. Like, to instead of making this other thing, like,
Yeah. Horrible. I just think the titles
the
are
junior tag division has always been pretty weak in New Japan, and it's like, I mean,
I'm sorry, but those belts need to upgrade too.
Yeah, but I mean, but even when you had Show and Yo and that great that how it was like 2017, 2018. I guess it was, when I was really, interested in it, and we had Bushi and
all the pre-pandemic stuff.
Yeah, Bushi and Shingo. That was that was an interesting, but and then of course, just like we were saying, we're almost 10 years away from, Lucha Underground, the beginning of it, and honestly, the Lucha Underground heavyweight title and the Gift of the Gods are probably the two best belts that have come out since that time.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
I mean, the heavyweight title is just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it exemplifies everything that you could want from that logo, from that promotion. It's just a beautiful belt. And the Gift of the Gods is so unique. And it had such a great concept behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I were going to buy a championship belt, it would be either one or both of those.
I hear you.
They're just outstanding.
Oh no!
I mean, just that, like, from being an artist, being a graphic designer, and being a belt aficionado. I mean,
I hope Mike Rojas isn't listening to the show.
Who?
Oh yeah, Mike.
I don't know if he still has that belt. Remember, he was trying to sell it for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna buy from him, and then you know what? I'll just sell it back to him for $1.
Oh yeah, you did talk about that.
Yeah. Because I felt bad because I wanted him to have it. Didn't he propose to this girl in a Lucha Underground ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
That was amazing, man.
Yeah. So I felt bad. He said he gave me a hard time. I was really going to buy it from him.
So you want to talk about promotions that have too many titles, right?
Yeah.
CML has 31 championships.
See, Pedro, that's ridiculous.
31.
But some of them are like they're rarely defended and they're tied to a certain arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a little bit different situation. I mean, it was
like when there was the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship that was only defended in Japan. Remember that?
Well, and that was because Tiger Mask had won it.
Yeah.
And then he just took it back to Japan because they had a working agreement. And then the belt just, the WWF stopped caring about it. But it wasn't sanctioned. That's why.
Did it get merged with something else?
It was eventually part of the J Crown, but
right.
But they got but they sent them a thing saying, hey, we want our belt back.
Oh.
So that got taken.
A little cease and desist.
Yeah, I think they were just like, hey, it's not official. This is we want our belt back.
Okay, so if you're not counting the regional arena based ones, if it's just the CML ones, the NWA Historics, and the Mexican national titles, it's 22 championships.
That's a lot. Yeah,
that's a lot, man.
That's almost as many as New Japan.
Yeah, I mean, New Japan's got everybody's got a belt.
Yeah, maybe Oprah's working for New Japan because you get a belt, you get a belt. Like, how the hell does anybody know what holding a belt being something special is besides Yoshihashi?
I'm surprised Red Shoes doesn't have a belt. He's a world referee champion. You know,
So
come on.
yeah, New Japan has 13 currently.
13 titles.
And they only have 13 wrestlers. Go figure.
They have 22 wrestlers.
13 titles. Yeah.
You got to remember, like, there's, one of those titles is, a trios.
That's
and
right.
There's two tag team titles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, that, like, another thing, too, was, I remember when they were talking about, when they unified the Intercontinental and the heavyweight title in New Japan. And I remember, the idea was that they were going to make the open weight more important.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's actually now it's really less important than the U.S. title.
Yep.
Whereas the U.S. title really, that was a belt that, just kind of became more desirable and, became focused with more colorful people.
And
more key matches in a way. Yeah.
And Pedro, what it was because it sat in AEW for all this time.
Do I know?
Well, there was that.
Omega, yeah.
Yeah, it sat with Omega, the AEW all this time. So like a lot of those New Japan shows didn't have the U.S. title being defended, and that's weak.
Well, and plus the time where Moxley was champion for so long with it,
right,
and they wouldn't take it back from him.
You start calling it the AEW All Japan Championship. Fuck it.
Well, it's then Kenta finally won it, and Tanahashi.
Osprey's going to bring it back, right?
Yeah, so it's but Juice was he was the best for that. He was a great.
I have to say something, Zeus, and I know you're not going to agree with me on this, but Zeus is killing it in the AEW, man. His character, he's fucking nuts. He's going crazy over there.
Yeah.
He's starting to cut back those old school promos he did in New Japan.
Yeah, I remember we watched that one recently where he's talking about I can't remember who he's talking about, but he made Jay White like a corpse in the background for
he's starting to go back to his crazy shit, and I'm loving it. I ain't gonna lie. So more power to Juice, man, because he's doing it.
Hey James, I have an AEW related question because
he's banging Tony Storm too. What?
I have an AEW. This is not loaded at all.
So I know, right?
No, it's not that loaded actually. But so my friend Brian Bell, he has been watching Collision. He's watched every episode so far. It's only been 2 episodes, right? But
I only saw one.
From not watching anything to now he's watching it. So that's like I'm like, oh, so there's. But I wanted to ask. So you've only seen one? Okay, I was wondering, does it feel any different from regular AEW, or is
it's hard to say because I only saw one, and the entire show it's all about promoting Forbidden Door. So all these New Japan stars were on it. Okay. You know, so it was a little different, I would assume, from a regular AEW show. But this was all about the Forbidden Door. Every match had Forbidden Door implications in it. So I don't know. The show was. That's when Tanahashi fell off the top rope and he fucked up the drop kick.
That's right.
And other people. That's with Despy jobbing. So it was not.
Hey, so a funny story related to that, because it reminded me when Naito came out. Was it on Collision that he came out? Yeah. He's revealed as the partner or whatever.
Yeah.
So my friend did not. He did not know Naito. He wasn't familiar with him at all, and he was just like, "Who is this ancient old man?"
I said you with Naito. What are you talking about, ancient old man?
Because I guess because he walked, he could barely walk and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, everybody in New Japan's got Muda knees.
Yeah.
Come on. So I no, I give props to the fan one because Sonata came out of Collision. He was dressed in a suit, and the fans popped. I was like, wow, they're popping for Sonata. They, either A, they're desperate, or B, they're being paid to.
James, is it an AEW show?
Yeah.
Is there an AEW logo like on the show?
That's what I said. They're either being paid to, or
no. If it has AEW on it, then the AEW fans will be.
Yeah.
I saw somebody post the other day, and I started to respond to it, but then I just deleted it because I was like, I don't need it. I don't need to, give somebody I don't even know a history lesson. But somebody was like, oh, people forget, but Starrcade '95 was basically Forbidden Door, before Forbidden Door. And that's why I love AEW because they're doing these things, the WWF has never done. I'm just like,
stop.
WWF Summit, Jesus, Tokyo Dome,
I'm about to explode. How did you not explode? Okay, Jesus.
I just rolled my eyes so hard I gave myself a headache.
This is what gets me pissed off. People don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't.
I mean, he's so proud of himself for going back to 1995. I'm just like,
watch the fucking pay-per-view on YouTube. Good for him. Come on, stop.
Hey, before we run out of time, so I want to bring up this topic.
What a fucking idiot. I said, who's this guy? Because I'm going to comment.
So I want to bring up Zeus's comic book again.
It's not my comic book. I have a comic book coming out. Stop saying that. Just because I'm featured on a comic book, it's not my comic book.
Who's the artist though?
So this is if you don't know what Final Faction is, these toys and stuff, they are a creation of the Dollar Tree, that store, the Dollar Tree. And so they recently put out a comic book, and Stephanie got me this comic book as part of my anniversary present. I've been waiting to open this until we were.
Oh, okay. We get the
open it up. Open it up, Pedro. Open it up.
Grand opening.
We're gonna open it. Whoa.
God, I think I still draw better than that. Hold on.
So let's see. Final Faction, First Impact, and you see there's Zeus. Oh, where is he? He's over here. What's the?
There. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
We've got some Thanos looking dude up there, and
where's Tanahashi? Zeus, you got me upset at that comment.
I know, man.
Oh my God! Look, the inside thing is an ad for all the toys. There's the whole toy line.
Jesus, that's a big toy line.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of toys. Holy shit! G.I. Joe didn't start out with that many.
Hey, Zeus, we're joking about this being you, right? But I'm not making this up. The very first page, your character is grilling, and he's talking to a dog, and he's going, "Hungry, churro?" And I'm like, "Wait, churros?"
Oh my God!
And
really?
Yeah, look. Let's see if I can figure this out. Look, see, yeah. Hungry churro.
Look at Zeus. That's him.
And wait, did something just explode the moon? Is something blowing up the moon?
Yeah. Oh, through the hole. Yeah.
Run,
planet Earth still is. He destroyed Zeus's churro. That's it. He blew up the moon and messed up Zeus's churro.
Oh my God! Look at there's a castle.
Oh look, it's Dollar Tree Baroness.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And this does look like a G.I. Joe thing. Like, look, a scramble.
Yeah, it's Dollar Tree roadblock.
I can't see what I'm doing, but
it's hard for me to look at the art, but it doesn't look like it's all that.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not, huh?
It looks like it's not as good as that wrestling aliens comic.
Oh no! Oh my God! Look at this.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah,
we've got drama here. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. Look, Zeus is like churro. No, wait,
churro. No, wait.
You don't know what to say, churro or the dog.
He doesn't even put the spatula down. He's like, no, I got to go find out what's going on.
Oh,
so he's going to fight a weird alien.
Oh, you got thrown into a car. Oh man,
that is a weird looking alien. I'll give him points for originality on that.
Let's see here. You punch out the alien here. Let's see.
Of course I do.
Well, he would. I would hope so.
Look, there's my girlfriend, Dollar Tree Baroness.
There she is.
He's kind of like he kind of looks like Baron Karza a little bit there.
Look at this, and then you've got the Thanos dude like just staring at your mug, and he's like,
I said Baron Karza.
Yeah, I'm digging floating.
No fucking idea who that is.
I didn't hear you. What was it?
I said he looks kind of like Baron Karza.
Baron Karza.
Yeah, he's the ultimate bad guy in the Micronauts series.
Oh, okay.
I missed the Micronauts.
Yeah. Buried in Hasbro hell right now.
Yeah, it's horrible. I'm scrolling through Twitter to see if I can find that.
Right? Yeah, no. Next time I'm by a Dollar Tree.
Yeah, you got to start buying up your action figures, and
I'm it's like one, okay.
Look, looks like your dog gets a robot or something. He's gonna pilot. See, your dog gets to pilot a robot.
He gets his own mech.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is terrible.
My Bucky the Werebeaver's got a giant mech.
Oh, these guys are ripping you off, Zeus. Oh man,
that's gimmick infringement.
I like this when Zeus gets to fight the guy. He like slaps the guy, and then throws him into some cactus, and then the fight is over. Like this is like the entirety of the fight. Zeus slaps this guy.
One punch,
and then
throws him in the
cactus, and then they take off.
He literally beats him with a YouTube stunt.
That's hot.
Oh my God! You guys see these ads in the back cover?
Oh, Zeus gave him a heart punch.
Yeah, right. So this is like these are maybe you can get some of these fake ads on your fake concert tour.
I
know. Joe Cola.
You know the thing is though, Pedro. You know the worst part about your fake concert tour?
Having to hear me?
No. Is that Ticketmaster has probably found a way to make money off of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
there were hundreds of people in Philly last night looking for the Pedro Boyd concert they'd bought tickets to. It was a 25-cent ticket, but it was a $75 service charge to Ticketmaster. So
they were looking for. It didn't say Pedro Boyd. It just said Friday Night Jam Summer Tour. That's what. Yeah. So they're like, what?
Yeah, they're looking for
I want to go to the Friday Night Jam Summer Tour.
Yeah, no refunds, no returns. Totally screwed.
Fire festivals all around the country.
Oh my God, the Fire Festival! I paid for filet mignon. I got a grilled cheese sandwich.
Everybody's gonna be coming for your ass.
Oh my God.
James, they're gonna come for him like he was the Freebirds after they got done with Junkyard Dog.
Oh my God, remember that? Yeah.
You'll see it, Pedro. You gotta watch.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Zeus, I legitimately thought this was going to be another quip about James and Raquel Rodriguez when you were mentioning ass.
She'll always be Raquel Gonzalez to me. But they should recreate her and the Ripley storyline from NXT. I mean, I don't see why they don't do that. Because that was good stuff, right, Pedro? It was good.
Because nobody's as big a fan of Raquel Gonzalez.
You got to get the book, James. I got
to get the book. I
didn't realize how late it was, but
I'm gonna take the book away from. I don't even know who's got the book now anyway. Oh yeah, Vince. That's right. Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yes. Yeah. Pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah, pretty much.
Um,
I don't
so
change all 10 matches on the show. Just 9 out of the 10. That's all.
So Zeus, when you're not being featured on Dollar Tree merch, what else do you have going on? Anything else coming up we need to know about?
Well, just working. I'm on just about to finish with page 20 here.
Ooh, awesome.
So then,
You wanna show us a live look?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, please. Are you ever gonna get a release date for this thing or what?
No, not a solid one yet.
Okay.
Look.
Oh, okay. I'm digging it.
So
Nice.
I gotta ink this panel, and then that's done because this is going to be from one of my photographs of the battleship.
Okay.
And so then I got 20 and 21, and then a splash page and then a few assorted pages. So honestly, I'm trying to shoot for the end of this month to have it all finished in the computer and hopefully have the word balloons. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it in color.
Okay. Yeah, you should, because it's going to look nice.
Yeah, and I think doing it in color. I mean, if I have to backtrack and do black and white interiors, I can just convert the color to black and white,
Right.
and just lighten it a lot.
Are you going to have any issues with the word balloons or no?
No, that'll be fine. Because I'm going to put it in InDesign, and that's what's great about InDesign is I'll scan all this stuff in, probably color it in Illustrator, and then take it into InDesign to put in all the text and the word balloons, because I got to use that for because I got the inside front cover is going to be a lot of the information, copyright stuff and
right.
That kind of thing, and then the inside back cover is probably going to be like ordering information, for people to get maybe a special edition,
Right.
and plus I'll have the Spanish and Japanese language translation ones available.
Oh, wow.
That's
for sale
awesome.
there too. And I got I'll have stickers and trading cards to go along with that. To help.
Wow. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, because see, this is a great thing about working in a company that has amazing printers. So, like, you know how like you've seen a color printer work, right? And it comes out like fast, right? So like it's like maybe like a 1 pass or a 2 pass when it's laying out the ink, right? The printers we have are 8 pass.
Oof. Right.
So, and I just printed, the color one of her, the pirate, with the pirate ship behind her, and it's all pink and crazy and everything.
Right.
I printed that yesterday at work on, not on vinyl, but it's on this really nice paper we have. It's like a 30 by 40 inch. It's massive. So, and then I downloaded my pirate font, and everything. So I'll be working on the how the title logo is going to look and everything too here.
You all set, ready to go then?
Yeah, it's really close, because there's a lot of stuff that once I get it done the first time, it's going to be a lot easier for the next 3 issues to finish this first story.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm going to try to have as many cool little doodads and things to go along with it.
Awesome. Good job, brother.
Thank you, Pedro. We know you got more. We got
and
jams.
And some Tom's Real Life.
Jams,
Tom's Real Life.
Friday will be Wink Wink in Cleveland. Wink Wink and
fake concert and fake
fake
Cleveland.
concert.
Oh, Pedro at Progressive Field.
Yeah.
As my sister calls it, the city on a swamp.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean that's about it, I guess.
Well, you know, you're going to be in the Cleveland. You're going to be playing in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There you go.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Or at least in the parking lot.
I was going to say, I was going to say concession stand, but I'll do parking lot. Yeah, that works.
James, you got anything coming up?
I have, I believe, a couple of more live mixes on Real House Radio as Jim House. That's what we're doing this thing.
Oh, nice.
I'll be doing some pre-recording sets because after going to surgery, obviously I won't be mixing for the extended period of time. So those might be valuable. Who knows? But you know, other than that, I want to be putting my body in shape. I'm gonna do the Rocky Balboa thing right now. You know, I'm gonna strip down. I'm gonna Tony Stark this thing. No pizza, no bad food, no beer, no alcohol, none of that shit. And you know, I'm just gonna do my thing. Get ready for surgery in the 26th. Well, I have 2 more live sessions to go. So just, you know, I'll be live all over the world. Everybody will be hearing me mix, and then that's about it.
Oh,
Nice.
You know, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Best of.
rock and roll.
That's right.
Well, hey, well, I don't know if we had any viewers today, but if anyone watches this later, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all in the future.
Yeah, so we'll watch the pay-per-view at 3 o'clock. Let's watch. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. In 2 hours, right? In 2 hours.
Yeah.
So catch
It's
y'all
on Peacock pay-per-view. Yeah, so you know you can watch it.
Yep. So catch everyone later. Adios.
Peace. Have a good weekend. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th.
Yeah.